The silent whispers. Yes. Inferiority complex. Whether it's through past experience, traumatic events, or whatever it may be, is a struggle that most or some endure. Or why would I say most? Because through most is how even people choose their leadership. Because we never question authority. We never want to stand out and say this is wrong. And so you're very comfortable with it. In between, in a family, one parent says everything, they know everything, everything is right. However, when you try and correct them, everybody now starts crushing you. And you're told, you keep quiet, you don't know what you're saying. In fact, we are the one who brought you into the world. And many other painful things. If you're in school and you raise your hand to tell the teachers maybe they are wrong or you want to ask a particular question, the rest of the students tell you, shut up, be quiet. You want to be known so much by the teacher. And if you're going to a company and there's a new boss, and let's say there's a question, maybe in a town hall, and there's a question you need to ask, or maybe in a meeting and there's a question you need to ask, the other people are stepping on your foot and tell you, be quiet, you want to be promoted more than me. Or if it's someone of a different race, I've been African, so let's say the race is white, or in Asian, Arabic, someone tells you, oh, so you want not to be seen by the foreigners or people of this color, of this race, and they're thinking, you guys have a problem. These are just but a few examples that shows the danger that comes with inferiority complex, because eventually it's more of silencing one another. And that's why even in terms of communities, there's some communities, no matter how much you try, no matter how much you press on, they will still be comfortable in that process. Many times you can try to help someone get out of a particular situation and they'll keep going back into the same place, because not many people are ready to face. There are people who are so good at their job. There are people who are so good at their skills. There are people who are so good in everything that they do. But the problem is they don't want to grow. Like they have the potential, whether it's in a company, whether in a particular establishment or institution. These are like these are the people you met when you came into the company. This is the person who mentored you, who told you, avoid saying this, avoid saying that, do this, do that. But the sad story is when it comes to them to grow or to be given promotion, nah, they don't want that stuff. That's not my cup of tea. That's management type of stuff. Yet, these are people with great and amazing potential. But what thing is the drainer? What do you think the silent whisper? Inferiority. They ask themselves, I'm not as better as them. You're compared to other people. As a child, your parent compares you and tells you, study like so and so. But you know behind the scene that that person doesn't really study. They're in school and you know they copy. And every time you keep raising that, you keep being told, shut up. That child is from a family. Let's say there's some wealthy family, educated family, whichever you choose to look at it. And they still correct and tell you, no, you are very jealous because you don't study like that. But you know very well these people are cheating in exams. And years later, your parent says, oh, but you know that time, and they forget that there's a wound they created where you had to keep doing it, had to keep proving. And the dangers when you're faced with inferiority, some things people never notice is you always trying to stand up, you are always over competitive. There's a type of healthy competition which is good, but there's a type of competition that is very scary. Same thing with work. There are people who will just do their job, get into their timelines and go. And then you have the workaholic. And sometimes you'd ask someone who's a workaholic, when are you going home? They'd rather stay at work because they're thinking, if I don't do this, they won't be able to prove who they are worth and everything. And now when you dig deep, you realize either through their family or even in their relationship or wherever it may be, they were pressed down. If you look at relationships, one or the other partner tells the other one, no, If you start that type of business, no, you know these people are going to do this. I'm African, so some things you'll be told, if you start going down this path, no, you'll be part of a secret society, or they'll come take you, or the witches will do this, or the villagers, all this type of nonsense. Anyway, so eventually you're pressed down. Also, your partner can look at you and see you're very beautiful, very handsome, and that becomes a fear. And so they will find ways to make you feel like nothing, or they'll always come up with lame excuses to make sure that every opportunity that's meant for you to grow, you don't. So they rather have you down there either doing particular types of jobs or particular type of task, yet they know your great potential. And sometimes how you know it is when some people split in relationships or in marriages, whichever, whether it's the husband or the wife, you will come and notice that very interesting, some people thrive perfect. Like the moment they ended it, they thrive to the very core. And they don't have this whole, issues of they want to go back to, no, they move, they thrive, and others even meet better partners who hold them, others don't, and they grow. And you ask yourself, what happened? Why are they glowing when the other time they looked like they were just becoming darker? It's simple. The person next to them knew their potential, saw their potential, and brings them down. It's like when you go to high school or primary, when there's the girl who's always very good at her education, some boys will feel a threat. And what do the boys do? Some boys will do, those who are very how do you say, depraved, they'll say, what if I'm able to, raise her up, throw some vibes here and there. If I get to her, get her pregnant, then she can't continue. Then we see it. Or it doesn't even have to be that, but it can be a community problem whereby there's this lady or girls who are very good at what they do. They stand up, they stand out. And no matter how educated you are, no matter whatever you are, if there's one place each one of us is vulnerable to fall and hit the head hard, it is a relationship. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how assertive you are. It doesn't matter how good you are in your leadership. Your partner totally affects everything. And that's why we always have the problem with empowerment, whether it's girl empowerment or boy empowerment. With the girl empowerment, the male dominated will be like, just get her pregnant, or push her to do these kind of jobs, or make sure that she can't go to that school. If it's on the boy side, they may be like, let's find this type of girl and just throw to the guy, and then the guy will be, you see, and before you know, the guy cannot succeed. He is now struggling. He has a relationship that he doesn't even know how he got in. And other places, actually, I've seen this very common is in churches, whereby a pastor or a pastoress will notice a talent in someone, and they want that person to be in that community. So what they do, if it's a girl, they'll fix you with a boy. If it's a boy, they'll fix you with a girl. And these people they're fixing you with, on face value, they look okay. But behind the scenes, others have mental issues and everything. And then they use this catch of, if you divorce. And so now you're stuck. You're stuck with an individual who you didn't really want. You're pushed to by your religion. You're pushed to by your family. And you're in this stuck phase and there's nothing you can do. What's the problem here? Inferiority. The dangers with inferiority in a society, in a community, in a family, in a relationship, it breaks every single bridge. It destroys. And the few who end up getting out of it, trust you me, if they all tell you their story of how they were brought down, you will weep, because there are many. I am among many of them. We are many out there. Or by the time you see someone has become very self-aware, whereby for my situation, someone will tell you, why don't you have a kid? When to have? I ask a very simple question. It's not in my plan. And I have other things I need to concentrate. Someone will say, but you should do it. And I'll tell them, fine, if you want to have a kid, you have a kid. Okay, good. Now leave me alone. And someone will take that offensive and say, no, I'm like, no, you fine, you go do your thing. It's because the moment you learn to stand up and stand out, everybody starts pulling away. Because the one thing inferiority does is to bring people into one corner, which which is a very dark corner, and tell you that it's light when they all know it is darkness. But let's be comfortable in this darkness and switch off the light. So get out of the darkness and get into the light. Be self-aware and do something about it. Reflect and make a decision to change. It's for your own good, for your future. All the best.